about. Before I finish, I want to read you the best poem, actually the best thing that I've ever read about forgiveness. And it's so much better than my book. I mean, I'm just laughing because it's 2 paragraphs. And it's the best thing that I've ever read about forgiveness. And it's a poem by Mary Oliver called The Settlement. And look, it's spring. And last year's loose dust has turned into this soft willingness. The windflowers have come up trembling. Slowly the brackens are uplifting their curvaceous and pale bodies. The thrushes have come home, none less than filled with mystery, sorrow, happiness, music, ambition. And I am walking out into all of this with nowhere to go and no task undertaken but to turn the pages of this beautiful world over and over in the world of my mind. Therefore, dark past, I'm about to do it. I'm about to forgive you for everything. That's what it is. It's like you recognize you're in this gorgeous world for a short period of time, and you allow the majesty of it partly to heal yourself. It's like we get this opportunity for a little while, and we don't want to miss it. It's like it's not that complicated. It's like we don't want to miss it. I'm going to say one more thing, and then I've probably said enough. But I've learned so much about this over 20 years, and literally going into hell to do this stuff is. Most of you think that unforgiveness, me too, is simply a kind of question as to whether the offender, and this could be whether you're a Jew dealing with the Holocaust or a black dealing with slavery. I mean, it's big and little. But what we fail to recognize what we're actually doing, even though we think it's just about our neighbor or our brother or the blacks with the whites and the Jews with anybody. I mean, I'm just saying what we're actually doing, and this is why gratitude is so essential, is we're actually doing an accounting of our whole life whenever we don't forgive. And what we're saying is the beauty and blessings that have come to us are not sufficient. Don't fool yourselves. I mean, you can, because I still do, but I'm just saying that recognize what you're doing. You're doing an accounting and you're saying, all that's come to me is not sufficient for me to be gracious. Yeah. That's what you're saying. It's defensible, it's understandable, it's deeply human, but that's what we're doing. We're saying that all the love, all the kindness, all the beauty, all the generosity, all the abundance was not enough for me to have an open heart right now. That's what unforgiveness is. And so the key piece, and again, I'm just sharing with you because we've taught this so many times, is gratitude is essential because you have to pay attention to what you have before you can actually make any kind of articulate decision as to whether what you don't have was that bad. Otherwise, you're just in your head, and it doesn't mean that much. So gratitude is so essential. And again, and being willing to grieve and feel the pain, that's 75% of the process. Forgiveness is like the icing on it, but most of us are not grateful at all. So we can take a modest offense and hold a grudge when we're eating and, we have a roof over our head and all that stuff. But we're not willing to feel the pain of being human. We resist it. We're not willing to suffer. It's part of the requirements for being here. And we're not willing to pay that. So if we're willing to do those two things, it's not that hard to nudge towards forgiveness. But without being willing to do those two things, it's almost impossible. Anyway, enough speechifying from me. Thank you.
Pauline, any last
Yeah,
thoughts
that
and
was-
reflections?
I couldn't possibly say anything after that. Wow.
Sorry.
Well, Fred Luskin and Pauline Tessler, thank you for being with us at the New School.
Thank you.
Thank